I got to tell you, this is something that I'm quite guilty of as well. My wife is, my kids are. I think everybody I know Dr. Googles. And it got crazy one time when I Googled and I said, okay, headache. This could mean you had too much wine last night, or it could mean you have a 5-inch brain tumor. And I'm like, oh, geez, I got to get off of this. So everybody seems to be doing this. Is the information correct, though?
Well, what you're saying is actually so true. Everybody's doing this. As a matter of fact, a survey said just under 40%, but I think they didn't survey the right people because I would say about 100% are doing this.
Yes.
And you're right. It could be that you something real simple, but I always say, all internet roads lead to cancer because you can put anything in and you're dying. It's pretty much true. And there is information out there that is absolutely correct, but it doesn't mean that it actually applies to you. And that's where Dr. Google can't see you, can't hear you, can't assess you the way a physician would. And Google, like any other search engine, is only putting out what you're asking it. So you may have 5 symptoms and you put in 1 or 2, but it's not seeing the bigger picture. And that's really where we get into trouble. And not all information is correct out there.
Judy, how important is it for people to stay off of the computer and let the physician diagnose you?
I think it's very important. One of the things we see is that they may go on the computer and they may be searching a legitimate problem, and they may even come up with something that resembles a correct answer. The problem is when they do get in to get it fixed, they now have a new diagnosis. It's called stress because they have worked themselves into a tizzy. And it's amazing how many people, just like you did, we all do it, can get online and just decide that they're already writing their wills. They've decided they're dying and calling all their friends and just telling them how much they love them because they're sure that whatever's wrong with them is the end of them.
Is it hard to just call up and get a doctor's appointment? You're not feeling good. It's almost impossible to get into a doctor the next day when you need them the most.
I think that's certainly an issue. But it's, that's, I think, why practices like ours, Executive Medicine of Texas, where we have concierge patients, our patients have our cell phones. I mean, more and more people are seeing value in that because they call and, we could see you 2 weeks on Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Well, I don't know. I can't make 2 weeks on Tuesday at 2 o'clock. They need to be seen then. They need to have their questions answered.
Right.
And I think that is one problem. People are getting impatient in this. We all live in Prime, right? Amazon Prime. If I want it within the next 12 hours or you stink, you're no good if I can't have it instantly. That's kind of the world that we live in. And when we don't get it right away, we go to other resources. And I think that's why we're going to the internet.
Judy, what do you think is the leading factor for this? Is it just fear of going to the doctor? Is it now a cost thing because it can be expensive for just an office visit? What do you think leads there?
I think it's that we really have gone into an age where we believe the internet more than we do humans, which is quite scary. Actually, 62% of the people they surveyed said they trust their doctor more than websites. That means that the other half of the world doesn't. It's 48% that would rather go on the internet. And that's quite scary, especially as we're getting into this talk about AI and AI writing all of the content. Well, all AI can do is regurgitate content that's out there. So if we have a lot of information that is not correct on the internet, and trust me, there's lots of it, there's going to be even more of that regurgitation of that information. So people are going to get things that aren't correct. Then they're going to take that advice. And when you don't treat something properly, you can get really sick, whether it's a UTI or whether it's an upper respiratory infection that turns into pneumonia. These are serious things that we need to be paying lots of attention to.